This is Valley News Live at noon.
Hi everyone, we start with a story that's new at noon. One woman behind bars after a traffic stop in central Minnesota turned up drugs. Cass County Sheriff Tom Birch says deputies conducted a traffic stop in rural Bacchus, Minnesota. A canine was used during that investigation and approximately 50 grams of suspected methamphetamine was located during the search of that vehicle. The driver, Terry Foster of Bacchus, was arrested on charges relating to drug possession and driving under the influence. Formal charges against Foster are now pending. The Twin Cities and parts of southern Minnesota dealing with several inches of snow after a storm rolled through yesterday. The Minnesota State Patrol reports more than 380 crashes between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. 285 vehicle spinouts and 33 jackknifed semis were also reported. More than 30 people were hurt in those crashes. Thankfully, no reports of serious injuries or fatalities. The National Weather Service says snow totals range from 5 to 9 inches. And for something a little closer to home, we're going to be checking in this noon with meteorologist Jim Gash.
Hey, Ashlyn. We do have a first alert weather day in effect for Friday as a system is moving in with some strong winds as well as some heavy snow. So we are expecting some widespread accumulation of about 2 to 4 inches as the baseline, though we could see some locally heavy more snow as well as those gusty north-north winds, which could cause some travel issues as snow gets blown about. Now that snow will continue into Saturday just during the early morning hours. But here in Fargo, we're seeing mostly clear skies, some clouds here and there, and those temperatures across the area are chilly. Look at that, Langdon sitting at 3 degrees, while here in Fargo it's 11, and down south it's a little bit warmer, Sisseton there at 18 degrees. Now those wind chills are downright dangerous. We're seeing wind chills in the negative teens. Langdon, which was at 3, is sitting at negative 19 for that wind chill, in Bemidji sitting at negative 13. Now things are pretty calm here. We're seeing clouds for those in the east, but down in the south, that severe weather outbreak is still continuing. So, Ashlyn, I'll have more information about that first alert weather day and what we expect with that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you for that. I got to tell you, I ran out on my lunch break and that wind was cold.
Oh, very
man.
cold.
Oh, goodness gracious. We'll have more with that. Again, thank you, Jim. 12:03 now. Severe storms wreaking havoc across multiple states in the south. The National Weather Service is out surveying damage to confirm reports of a tornado touchdown in Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. There's a report of 2 storm-related deaths in Montgomery County, Alabama. Today, National Weather Service teams will be out assessing that damage and trying to determine the strength of the tornadoes. And new concerns in Hawaii, where the Mauna Loa volcano is currently erupting. You see it there, lava now flowing toward a major highway just a few miles away. And if it does cut through that roadway, authorities say it would cause major disruptions on the big island, Hawaii Island. Although officials stress the eruption is not posing a threat to those communities nearby. So far, schools and businesses near the volcano remain open, and flights to the Big Island have resumed. The U.S. Border Patrol investigating human smuggling in North Dakota and Minnesota near the Canadian border. Nearly 24 people are involved in 2 busts taking place earlier this month. Court records say 2 men from Georgia suspected of smuggling called police around 3 a.m. on November 17th, saying their van was stuck in the snow. It was near Nitchie in Pembina County. They say they walked nearly 40 minutes to meet the family they were transporting before calling authorities due to those dangerous weather conditions. Deputies found 9 people stranded, including 2 children. All 7 of the adults admitted to being in the country illegally. One man who's facing charges says smuggling groups pay between $500 and $1,000 per person. Earlier this month, 8 other people were apprehended. It was near St. Vincent, Minnesota. Authorities are seeking charges on 1 man for smuggling, while 7 others are currently being deported. If you believe you have any information about human trafficking, contact your local law enforcement or the National Human Trafficking Hotline. A Red Lake, Minnesota man is going to prison for 12 years for the 2020 murder of his cousin. The U.S. Attorney's Office says in the fall of 2020, Ralph Cloud Jr. used a metal cabinet to beat Alan Smith to death. It was at Smith's home on the Red Lake Indian Reservation. Cloud suspected his wife was involved with the victim at that time. Well, big changes are on the way at NDSU in Fargo. They aim to transform the school's academic sector to help deal with an expected budget shortfall. The university is seeking input from students and the NDSU community. University President David Cook says they're considering merging the 7 colleges down to 4 or 5. He says all programs, even including athletics, are on the table for those potential cuts. A new restructuring plan is expected to roll out in January. And the community is coming together in a big way to support a Fargo teenager who's been diagnosed with heart failure. 16-year-old Reese Scoofsa thought he was having simple flu symptoms, but doctors discovered that he had an enlarged heart causing issues with his organs and an associated blood clot in his heart as well. He's now at Minneapolis Children's Hospital on the transplant list. An online fundraiser, you see it there, through Lend a Hand Up has already raised more than $20,000 to offset those medical, travel, and lodging expenses. If you would like to help yourselves, we have a link at valleynewslive.com. Homelessness is a top concern in the FM Metro, but some of that population isn't just out on the streets, they're also in schools. That's why there's a work-in-progress location for Fraser's new Stepping Stone Resource Center. The organization says youth homelessness is a huge problem for which there's not enough help. Construction for the new Stepping Stone location will be completed as they reach their fundraising goals. They hope to have it all done by next fall. If you'd like to help, we also have links to that on valleynewslive.com and on the VNL News app. Well, listen to this. The unofficial start of Christmas and the holiday season is just hours away. That's because the 2022 Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting is set to happen tonight. Today's show co-anchors Savannah Guthrie, Hoda Kotb, and Craig Melvin will be joined by Access Hollywood's Mario Lopez to host the star-studded affair. And no holiday special is complete without those Radio City Rockettes. It all leads up to the big moment where more than 50,000 LED lights bring the 82-foot tall Christmas tree to life. The tree lighting ceremony will air live on NBC at 7 p.m. Coming up this noon, pollution and global warming have scientists sounding the alarm about the Great Barrier Reef. We'll tell you about it when we come back. But up next, weather to plan out your day as we brace ourselves for this cold moving in.